Well, hey there, folks. I want to talk about these 3 meters here for a second. This meter I bought new. This meter I bought new. This meter a really nice subscriber sent me. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, but yeah, he's a subscriber on the channel. He comments quite a bit. Super nice guy, man. Sent me a really nice meter. So I'm going to tell you what I found trying all 3 of these meters, going into a 50 ohm dummy load, using the exact same radio, the radio only, both on just dead key carrier and using a 1 kilohertz tone into the microphone, and then also with the amp, dead key or carrier, and then also the 1 kilohertz tone into the amp. So these are my findings. So I have everything wrote down here, and I'll tell you what I got. So on this meter, the Workman here, this is what I saw. I saw 0.6 dead key from the radio only, 14 watts of swing, radio only. With the KL203, the dead key showed 34 watts, and the swing showed 225. Okay. Everything seems okay to me. This seems a little excessive for this amplifier here. But anyways, who knows? Next, the MFJ, this one right here. The 980, dead key only, showed 0.8, where it showed 0.6 up there. Yeah, my dogs are in here playing. The swing, now this is weird on this meter. It really makes me question it even more than I do already. On the 30 watt scale, it showed it was only swinging to 6 watts. But on the 300 watt scale, it actually showed it was swinging to 18 watts. That's even showing more than the other meter. But on 6, it was showing hardly anything. You know, what are you going to believe? With the KL203, with the dead key or carrier, on the 30 watt scale, it was showing 14. And on the 300 watt scale, it was showing 30. So a 14 watt carrier on the 30 watt scale, a 30 watt carrier on the 300 watt scale. And then as far as swing goes, when I put a 1 kilohertz tone on the microphone, on the 30 watt scale, it showed it only had 6 watts of forward swing. And on the 300 watt scale, it showed it had, oh wait, we're looking down here, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're looking down here, okay. Yeah, with the amp on, it showed on the 300 watt scale, it showed it had 140 watts of forward swing. That, which I'd say that amp should do somewhere in between that and that. Okay. Then we go down here to the Dosi, and this seems to be the most stingy of all 3 of them. On the 980, just by itself, radio only, dead key, it showed 0.7, which is right in the middle of what the other 2 showed. The radio only swing, on the 20 watt scale, it only showed 4.5 watts of forward swing, which is nowhere near what these other ones showed. When we turn the KL203 on, the dead key or the carrier, it showed it had 22 watts on the 200 watt scale on this here, on the 200 watt scale. And you see what the other ones were doing. This one showed 22 watts. This one up here on the 300 watt scale, I was able to see 30. And on that one there, I was able to see 34. On the Dosi here, Oh wait, were we looking at that? Yeah, I got confused. Okay, yeah, no, we already looked at that. Okay, on the 200 watt scale with the amp on, we are only seeing 90 watts of forward swing PEP. That's it, 90 watts. Whereas on the MFJ, we saw 140, and on the Workman, we saw 225. Now, to the fellow that sent me this, I appreciate it. I really like this meter, but it is tight as can be, and I know I'm going to get it calibrated, but I know it's really tight because I took it over my buddy's. You know, he's running a big custom-built steel tube amp, you know, that'll put out 5 kilowatts. And on his meter, he was running it at 4,000 watts. He knows it's a known good 4,000 watts. When we put this meter on it, it was 1,000 watts lower. And that was on the 4,000 watt scale. But when we also tested just a barefoot radio on it on the 20 watt scale, I think it was 5 to 6 watts low. So really tight. It definitely needs to be calibrated up against like a Bird 43 with the Bird Peak kit, or like one of those LP like 500 or 700. It's one of those. It's worth it to get this done, because as long as this will calibrate, I think this will be a real good meter. I like this one. You know, you can go to auxiliary and go right to the dummy load, or go to your antenna. It's a cool little thing. But I just want to show you guys, that is the type of different readings I'm getting from all three of these meters. With this one I bought brand new, this one I bought brand new, and I own a total of 3 of these, and my buddy 191 has one in his truck that we've calibrated to what we believe is pretty close to accurate. But they all read the same, or within, you know, when you go up to like 500, 1,000 watts, they're all within 20 watts of each other. I've had a total of 3 of these over the years, and they all read the same. They're really close. This actually reads really close to what a Bird 43 with the Peak kit reads. But, you know, I keep feeling that this meter shows a lot of fluff. But, I mean, a good running 1x4 should do around 1,000 watts, and that's about what it shows, 900 to 1,000 watts. You know, everything on here seems really legit to me, except for that 225. I just don't know if this little guy right here is capable of making 225 watts of PEP forward swing. I'm not sure if that's, you know, 160, 180, yeah, I'm not sure about that 225 number. So that makes me just a little suspicious, but then again, the DOSI reads so low, that makes me even more suspicious. And the MFJ, it's pretty good, except when we're switching between the 30 watt scale and the 300 watt scale. I mean, it's just crazy off. And it's brand new. You would think it'd be calibrated. If they can't calibrate the 30 and the 300 watt scale correctly from the factory, you know, there's a problem. And I do know for a fact on the 3,000 watt scale, it's very stingy. It's, you know, we know it's stingy. But, well, I'll tell you, I don't know, guys, that's something to think about right there. I only keep this little guy here because I think it's the closest, like, true peak reading meter that I have. I mean, none of these have a powered circuit, and if you know anything about an actual true peak reading meter, they need a powered circuit to read true, you know, PEP forward swing. They try to, you know, do it cheaper by using capacitors or circuitry or whatever, but you know, this is a peak reading meter, or I guess they call it PERC. I don't know, whatever. It tries. Seems to do the best job at peak. This one here, It says it's a peak reading, but it doesn't say true peak. So once again, it tries to read peak, but I know for a fact this meter can simply not do it. And this one here, it does have a selection for RMS and peak, but once again, it doesn't have a true peak circuit, and as you can see, it's the stingiest of all three. So, with that being said, what do you folks think? Put it in the comments. This radio here, I do have the dead key turned down. When I did it, I remember putting it at right about 3/4 of a watt, and that's about what we see between the three of these. You know, you can estimate about 3/4 of a watt. And I believe it was swinging right about to about the 13 or 14 watts. I believe that's what I saw out of it. So, you know, and I did turn the modulation up in it, you know, to get some audio out of it. And yeah, just have this little KL203 on here. You know, I don't remember, guys, if this is the MOSFET version or the transistor version. I forgot. I looked in there and I totally forgot which one it is now. I don't know. Maybe one of them has another letter or number after it that tells you. But yeah, what do you guys think? What are your experiences, you know, with this radio, with the modulation turned up and the dead key turned down to run an amp? What do you think it should do? What do you think this little guy should do? That's kind of where we're at here. All right, just a little video, just, you know, trying to get some conversation going. All right, thanks for watching.